Greetings, Internet people. Ranting Ramsey here. Now I'm going to explain the title of this video. I'm not going to do a rant about shotguns. The term, to the best of my knowledge, I just made up today, a shotgun rant, is just a quick rant about nothing, not one particular subject in particular, just because it's kind of a scatterbrained, just kind of ramble about a few different things that have been on my mind, because I don't have a whole lot of time. I didn't really feel like spending the effort to develop any one of these topics into a full-on rant all by itself, unless somebody begs for it after watching this video. I don't know. Anyway, so the first thing that came to my attention is, and I imagine I'm probably the only one of the 370 some odd people that watch my videos. Yes, I watch my own videos. I'm an egomaniac. I've told you that before. Anyway, that actually gives a shit about the MLS and the Columbus Crew in particular. Woohoo! 2 times Supporters Shield winner, working on their third. They're, 5-0-2, 5 wins, no losses, 2 ties, and the only team really in the league that's looking like a better record than them right now is the evil LA Galaxy, who I despise for more reasons than just David Beckham. Most of their best talent is old Crew talent. Fucking Buttle and Miglioranzi are both former Crew players, and this is some of their best talent right there, if you ask me. Landon Donovan can suck a dick. Anyway, so I'm very pleased to see that the Crew are sitting atop the Eastern Conference right now, and that it really doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to slow them down anytime soon. Their next game is against Toronto FC, and that is an imaginary rivalry that the media created, and the basic bottom line is we're going to beat them. We always do. So that makes me happy. Anyway, the next subject in my little scatterbrained rant is lately, there's been a lot of, I've been kind of involving myself in a little more religious type things going on in YouTube as I participated in the first annual Dra Mohammed Day. And I got to thinking about some things, and there seems to be a school of thought present on the internet that I've experienced in many different locations, that atheists and Christians just can't possibly be friends, that the gap is just too fucking wide. And I understand also that there's a community out there that is the exact opposite of that proves otherwise. And I guess I would be part of that community that proves otherwise, because even though I am an atheist, I find no evidence for the existence of God whatsoever. There is a guy who does videos on YouTube who I would consider a pretty good friend of mine. I've plugged him before because he did a rant request. He was one of the first ones, actually. He's in the little box over there in my channel on the lower left, is Sarkintar, who he claims to be a devout Christian, and I'm just fine with that, and him and I seem to get along just perfectly well. You know, he finds my videos amusing. I absolutely find his Let's Read the Sarah Palin memoirs absolutely hysterical. If you haven't checked that out in my favorites, you need to go watch his Let's Read the Sarah Palin memoirs video, and then tell him how much you want to see more of this series so that he can continue to torture himself at my amusement. And even though, you see, maybe there is something to the argument here, because even though he's my friend, I kind of enjoy watching him abuse himself by reading these, and maybe that's just sinister of me. Maybe atheists really are evil. No, we're not, but it's still fun. So that's just a really small touch on that, is just that I find it ridiculous that people seem to think that atheists and Christians can't be friends, because obviously we can be. And so it really all just depends on how much focus you're willing to put on something like that, and if you think humankind can work past things like that. Because as I've said before, I don't think humankind has to agree on the minutiae of existence to be able to get together and accomplish great things as a species. That's just my viewpoint. I don't have to agree with the guy working next to me about the existence of God to build whatever we're working on. We just have to agree that I'm not going to drive a nail into his hand, and he's not going to run a saw over my wrist, or stupid things like that, and work together and build the fucking whatever it is we're building. We don't have to agree on the existence of God or non-existence of God for that to be accomplished. And that really goes on way beyond that. It can come to any type of research or or advancement of the species as a whole. You don't really have to agree on the minutia of existence to see a problem in human existence and want to solve it, and then work together to solve the problem so that everyone can benefit from the solution. Belief or non-belief in God is not requisite for that in any way, shape, or form. And it makes me really agitated to see so often that an issue where progress could really be made gets caught up in a God debate. And so I guess this maybe has gotten a finer religious point on it than I was intending to at the start of this, but I'm looking at the clock and realizing I have to go pick up my wife from work, like, now. So I've got to process this as quickly as possible and get out the fucking door. So let me know what you think on the shit I just spouted, and maybe I'll go in depth more on the subject if enough people want to see it. Which is like the last little thing that's actually kind of crossing my mind lately, is I'm actually extremely pleased with the fact that I have 375, 77, something like that, subscribers, and have managed to not attract the attention of any types of trolls or idiots like that. So that's kind of pleasing, and I've probably just cursed or doomed myself to be completely and totally inundated with assholes at this point, but whatever. I really don't care. It's amusement to me, so whatever. Alright, I'm ranting Ramsey. That was a shotgun rant, which means, obviously, that it didn't really focus on anything except for what I was focusing on in that rambling moment. So, peace.
Hey, did you get all that, man?